Hey everyone, it's me, Tentabat, a furry NSFW artist and content creator, and welcome to my video. In this speed paint, I'll be animating Meowscarada. This was a Patreon poll winner, and I finally got around to animating this Pokemon. And yeah, as you can see, I wasn't able to get the full speed paint recording. I only managed to record the Safe for Work Slinkini edit. Yeah, I apologize for not getting the full speed paint, but I just forgot to record at the beginning. Again, I apologize, but I hope you enjoy me working on the Safe for Work edit. I know I'm saying Safe for Work edit, but I still had to censor out some of the recording because I can't show nips here. How uncouth. But yeah, this was a Patreon poll winner back in July. I just really wanted to animate one of the newer Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. The other options were Shenpao, Clodsire, and Walking Lake, but Meowscarada won by a landslide. And yeah, I was happy to draw a furry cat character. I just really wanted to make this character chubby because I haven't really seen that drawn, not as much as I wanted to. And with this animation, I decided to do things a little differently this time. You see, usually I make my animations pose to pose. For this, I usually draw two main poses. I would animate from the first pose to the second pose, and then from the second pose back to the first pose. In my earlier days of animating, sometimes I would just reverse the frame, so it looks like it's going from point A to point B and then back to point B to point A. Sure, this was a faster shortcut, but it doesn't always look right. Nowadays, I really prefer to animate from point A to point B and point B to point A separately. I know it's kind of hard for me to explain, but imagine reaching out for something and then grabbing that object and pulling it towards you. When you're reaching, you're most likely gonna take more time reaching for the object, and then it might be faster pulling the object towards you. At least that's how I would imagine it. Between the poses, you would have the midpoint frame, and then you would have your in-betweens. And this could be multiple frames. It could be as many as you want, or as little as you want. My frame number usually varies, but lately I've been doing a lot more frames than usual for my projects. Usually for my animations, I would have two main poses, but for this animation, I made 3 main poses. Not only that, but I decided to experiment with my method of animating for this animation. I tend to have a defined midpoint and in-betweens for my animation, but for this one, my midpoint frames are kind of like smear frames. I use smears to show that the animation is going really fast. You'll see this at the end. But yeah, her spinning movements are going really fast, so I decided to go with a smear animation. And for the in-betweens, they're not exactly like right in the middle between key poses. They're much closer to the main poses. So I would favor my extreme poses rather than the smear. So it would be the main pose, then a pose very similar to the main pose, maybe another frame of those, and then the smear. And then it will go back to the similar to the next main pose, and then the next main pose. Please do not take a shot for every time I say pose, please. Sorry that I don't I don't know how to communicate this that well. I'm not any sort of animation teacher. I'm just telling you about my process through this animation. But yeah, this difference in technique was a lot of fun to explore. Yeah, I definitely had lots of fun making the smear frames. That was pretty cool to experiment with. The in-between frames wasn't that difficult to make since they're close to my original poses, so that was a little easier to do. The thing is, I did have to keep an eye on my follow-through movements. Like, as this character stops, not every single part of her is gonna stop at the exact moment. That's where I had to keep track of the follow-through. Things flow, they move, they bounce all over. So yeah, I really had to keep track of that. It took like several frames to make sure things settled naturally, like it's not a sudden stop. So I tried to keep up with it. That part did take a bit of time, but I got used to it. But yeah, it wasn't just only her booba bouncing all over, it was also her cape, leaf cape kind of thing, flowing in the air as well. And the bits of tough fur on her legs and cheeks, I also kept track of that as well. Fur is actually pretty fun to animate. I also know this Pokemon has a little flower bud thing floating around her sometimes, or most of the time. It's just, I just got lazy, so I didn't get into it. I didn't get to it at all. This animation was running a bit late, and I like having my Patreon polls more timely, so I kind of just skipped that floating flower thing. I know I could just draw it once and maybe like keyframe it, figure something like that out, but I was too lazy to even do that. I know it's part of her move set, but she's not really attacking at the moment. At least I hope she's not. So yeah, when Scarlet and Violet was coming out and I had to choose a starter for that region, it was a close tie between Fuecoco and Sprigatito. And Sprigatito is a really good starter. It is a cat and it's a cute grass type, but I ended up going with Fuecoco because that's just like a cool fire crocodile, like fires just like a really cool typing, and just like a cute little crocodile thingy. That's so neat. But honestly, I'm almost a little jealous not picking Sprigatito to get Meowscarada, because I do love the design. The idea of a magic cat is really cool, in my opinion. Honestly, a singing crocodile is also really cool, but I kind of wish he was bipedal. So yeah, the Slinkini variant of this animation is on my art galleries, websites, etc. But the nude version is a Patreon exclusive. You can, if you're an adult and if you pledge $4 on my Patreon, you could see it. Ain't that neat? Alright, that's all I will say on that matter. Honestly, I kind of wonder what this animation would look shaded, but that's gonna be a lot more work and I can't pay myself to do that. Oh well. I'm really happy how it turned out as is. It was just a really fun animation to do, and I hope it shows that in the end results. Speak of the devil, here's the end results right now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know, you gotta see it a few times to really sink in your mind. But yes, I did 3 main poses and I did 3 smears for this animation. Let me know how I did with the jiggles. Also, let me know if you had a Sprigatito as your starter as well. It'll make me jealous. And that's it for this video. I'd like to thank my patrons who are on screen right now. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. A big thank you to 7 Dead Jr., Bolt Chaser, Zang, House, Grimitus, Tanzanite, Artie, Oniroy, Zerum, Dracos, Gold Dragon, Danger V, and Blue Dragon. Thank you so much for your big support. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!